My child, stop. Just for a moment. Stop looking for the next sign. Stop waiting for the thunder to roll. Stop scrolling for the word that will finally unlock everything. You have been searching for a key, but you have forgotten that the door was never locked. I see you. I see you sitting there, tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. You have been running from miracle to miracle, from testimony to testimony, from anointed video to anointed sermon. And somewhere in that running, you lost your breath. You lost the quiet. You lost me. Not because you walked away, but because you started treating your faith like a math problem. If I pray this way, if I give this amount, if I confess this scripture 7 times, if I find the right pastor, if I unlock the right secret, then you have been trying to reduce me to a formula. And I am not a formula. I am a fire. I am a breath. I am the voice that spoke light into nothing. And you have been trying to control that voice with words you do not even feel. Let me tell you something gently. Your lips have been moving, but your heart has been standing still. I said it long ago through my prophet. These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. You have learned the language of faith. You have memorized the verses. You know when to say, hallelujah. You know when to lift your hands. But deep down, in the place no one sees, you are exhausted, because trying to manipulate the creator of the universe is exhausting. You have been standing at the door of your own heart, knocking, begging me to come in and fix what you broke, begging me to unlock what you never asked me about before you locked it. But you have not let me speak. You have been too busy telling me what you need. When is the last time you sat in silence, not praying, not listing, not begging, just being with me? Do you remember? Or has your faith become a transaction, a deal, a contract? You give me worship, I give you breakthrough. You give me tithes, I give you financial freedom. You give me tears, I give you a husband. You give me your time, I give you healing. That is not love, that is business. And I did not die on a cross to become your business partner. I died to become your father. Let me ask you something, and I ask it gently because I love you too much to let you stay trapped. If I never gave you another miracle, if the healing never came, if the money never showed up, if the relationship never restored, if the door remained closed, would I still be enough? Do not answer quickly. Do not give me the Sunday school answer. Let that question fall into the deepest part of your soul. Would I still be enough? Because what I am trying to show you, what I am trying to rescue you from, is a faith that depends on what I do rather than who I am. You have been taught to chase the gifts, but I'm trying to give you myself. You have been taught to hunt for the breakthrough, but I'm trying to break through to you. You've been taught that big faith means big results. But my son had perfect faith, and he was nailed to a tree. Do you understand? The measure of your faith is not the size of your bank account. The measure of your faith is not the health of your body. The measure of your faith is not the open doors in your life. The measure of your faith is your trust in me. When there is no evidence, when there is no miracle, when there is no sign, when the heavens are silent and the pain is loud, can you still say, my Father is good? Because that is the faith that moves mountains, not the faith that screams louder, not the faith that fasts longer, not the faith that pays more, but the faith that whispers in the dark. I trust you, even when I do not understand. You have been living in a spiritual trap, and you did not even know it. The trap is this. You believe that your obedience controls me, that if you pray enough, I have to answer, that if you give enough, I have to bless, that if you worship enough, I have to show up. But I'm not a vending machine. I'm not a genie. I'm not a force you can activate with the right sequence of words. I am God. I was God before you prayed. I will be God after you stop. And my love for you does not depend on your performance. That is the lie that has exhausted you. The lie that says you have to earn my favor. My child, you already have it. You cannot earn what I gave freely before you were born. I gave my son while you were still fighting me, while you were still running from me, while you were still ignoring me. That is not transactional love. That is insane love. That is reckless love. That is the love that does not make sense to the world. And it does not make sense to your religious mind either, because your religious mind wants to earn. Your religious mind wants to calculate. Your religious mind wants to feel deserving, but you do not deserve me. And that is the good news. If you deserved me, You could boast. If you earned me, you could be proud. But you did not. You cannot. And that means my love is completely free, completely undeserved, completely unbreakable. Do you feel the weight of that? Do you feel how different that is from what you've been taught? You've been running on a treadmill of spiritual performance. Pray more, read more, give more, serve more, fast more, and none of it has made you feel closer to me, because you have been doing it to get something from me, not to be with me. That is why you are tired. That is why your soul feels dry. That is why the worship songs that once made you cry now feel empty. You have turned your relationship with me into a job, and you are burning out. But I did not call you to a job. I called you to a resting place. Come to me. All you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Not come to me, and I will give you more assignments. Not come to me, and I will give you more pressure. Not come to me, and I will give you more responsibility. Rest. Do you remember rest? Do you remember what it felt like to sit with me without asking for anything, without listing your needs, without begging for intervention, just resting in the fact that I'm your father and you are my child, and nothing can change that? You have been taught a dangerous theology, a theology that says your breakthrough is delayed because your faith is weak, a theology that says your healing hasn't come because you haven't found the right key, a theology that says the silence of heaven is your fault. Let me stop you right there. That is not from me. That is a burden I never placed on you. That is a weight the enemy designed to crush you. The enemy wants you exhausted, because an exhausted Christian does not fight. An exhausted Christian does not love. An exhausted Christian does not shine. An exhausted Christian just survives. And I did not save you to just survive. I saved you to thrive. But thriving does not mean having everything you want. Thriving means being so deeply rooted in me that when the storm comes, and it will come, you do not break. Do not misunderstand me. I am not against miracles. I am the God of miracles. I parted the Red Sea. I shut the mouths of lions. I raised the dead. I walked on water. I healed the blind. I do miracles. But I do not do them so you can collect them like trophies. I do them to reveal myself. The miracle is not the point. I am the point. The healing is not the point. I am the point. The provision is not the point. I am the point. You have been chasing the shadow and ignoring the substance. Let me tell you a story. Remember the Israelites in the wilderness? They saw more miracles than any generation in history. They saw the plagues in Egypt. They saw the Red Sea split. They saw water from a rock. They saw manna fall from heaven every single day. They saw a pillar of fire at night. They saw the tangible presence of God. And still, they complained. Still, they rebelled. Still, they built a golden calf. Miracles did not change their hearts. Miracles did not make them faithful, because miracles can be witnessed without changing a single thing inside you. You can see a miracle and still be hard-hearted. You can experience breakthrough and still be bitter. You can be healed and still be angry. The outward miracle does not guarantee the inward transformation. And that is what I am after. The inward transformation. I'm not trying to fix your circumstances. I'm trying to fix you, not because you are broken in a way that makes me angry, but because you are broken in a way that hurts you. And I love you too much to leave you broken. Do you understand? The sickness you want healed, the money you want provided, the relationship you want restored. Those are symptoms. The real issue is your heart. Your heart that believes it needs those things to be happy. Your heart that believes without them you are incomplete. Your heart that has made idols out of answers. I am not against giving you good things. I am your Father. I love to give good gifts to my children, but I will not give you a gift that becomes more important than me. I will not heal you only for you to worship your health. I will not provide for you only for you to worship your money. I will not restore your relationship only for you to worship that person. I am a jealous God, not jealous in the way humans are jealous, not insecure, not petty, but jealous for your heart, because I know that nothing else will satisfy you, and if I give you everything you want, but you do not have me, you will still be empty. You are already experiencing that emptiness. You have more than you used to have, but you feel less, because you have been collecting blessings while drifting from the blesser. This is the great deception of our time. That God exists to serve your dreams, that God exists to solve your problems, that God exists to make your life better. No, I exist, full stop. And you exist to know me. That is the purpose. That is the meaning. That is the only thing that will ever truly fulfill you. Everything else is a bonus. Everything else is extra. Everything else is secondary. But you have made the secondary primary, and the primary secondary. You have been praying for open doors, but you have not asked me if you should even walk through them. You have been praying for more money, but you have not asked me what I want you to do with it. You have been praying for healing, but you have not asked me what I want to teach you in the sickness. You have been treating me like a servant who fulfills your wishes, instead of a king who deserves your surrender. Let that sink in. I'm not angry at you. I'm not disappointed in you. I'm not shaking my head at you. I'm inviting you. Inviting you to a different way, a better way, a way that is not exhausting, a way that is not frantic, a way that is not desperate. I'm inviting you to trust me, even when you do not understand, even when the prayer is not answered, even when the door stays closed, even when the pain remains, even when the silence is loud. Can you trust me then? Can you still believe that I am good? Can you still believe that I love you? Can you still believe that I have a plan? That is mature faith. That is the faith that does not crumble. That is the faith that does not panic. That is the faith that does not need a sign every 5 minutes. That is the faith that rests. Do you know what I see when I look at your generation? I see panic. I see anxiety. I see desperate people running from one spiritual event to another, desperate for a word, desperate for a touch, desperate for a sign. But I'm not hiding from you. I'm not far away. I'm not silent because I'm angry. I am silent because you have not stopped long enough to listen. You have filled your life with noise, podcasts, worship music, sermons, prophecies, all good things. But even good things become bad things when they replace me. You have been consuming spiritual content, but you have not been consuming me. There is a difference. You can listen to 100 sermons about me and never actually talk to me. You can sing 1,000 songs about me and never actually sit with me. You can read the Bible cover to cover and never actually let it change you. Information about me is not the same as intimacy with me. You know a lot about me. But do you know me? Do you know my voice? Not the voice of the last prophet you heard, not the voice of the pastor on the screen, not the voice of the comment section. My voice, the still small voice, the one that does not scream, the one that does not manipulate, the one that does not pressure you, the one that whispers, "You are loved, you are mine, I am with you." Do you recognize that voice, or has it been drowned out by the noise? I want to teach you something that will change everything. Are you listening? The greatest miracle I can give you is not a changed circumstance. It is a changed heart. And a changed heart does not need perfect circumstances to be at peace. A changed heart does not need everything fixed to be joyful. A changed heart does not need all the answers to be secure. That is what I am offering you. Not a life without problems, but a soul that is unshakable in the middle of them. That is the treasure hidden in the field. That is the pearl of great price. That is what you should be selling everything to obtain. Not a bigger house, not a better job, not a healed body, but a heart that trusts me so deeply that nothing can steal your peace. Let me tell you about David. Before he was king, before he killed Goliath, before he had any of the things people thought made him significant, he was alone in a field with sheep. And in that field, in that loneliness, in that obscurity, he learned to know me. He wrote songs to me in the middle of the night. He poured out his heart to me when no one was watching. He didn't have a platform. He didn't have a following. He didn't have a ministry. He had me. And that was enough. That is why when Goliath came, David didn't panic. He had already faced lions and bears in that field, not with his own strength, but with me. And he knew that the same God who was with him in the field was with him on the battlefield. He didn't need a formula. He didn't need a 7-step plan. He didn't need a prophetic word. He had a relationship. That is what I want to rebuild with you. A relationship, not a transaction, not a contract, not a deal. A relationship where you talk to me because you love me, not because you need something. Where you read my word because you want to know me. Not because you're trying to find the right promise to claim. Where you worship because I'm worthy, not because you are trying to get my attention. Do you see the difference? One is exhausting, one is life-giving, one is performance, one is rest, one is slavery, one is sonship. And I did not give you a spirit of slavery to fall back into fear. I gave you a spirit of adoption as a son, a daughter, a child who can crawl into my lap and just be. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to earn my love. You do not have to prove your worth. You are already loved. You are already worthy, not because of anything you did, but because I made you, because I chose you, because I died for you. That is your identity. That is your security. That is your foundation. And nothing can shake that. The enemy has been lying to you, telling you that you are not enough, that you need to do more, that you need to be better, that you need to try harder. But that is the voice of the accuser, and I am the voice of the Father. And I say, you are enough because I'm in you. You are complete because I am with you. You are loved because I am love. Stop striving. Stop performing. Stop exhausting yourself trying to reach a standard that does not exist. The only standard was perfection. And my Son already met it for you. When he said it is finished, he meant it. The work is done. The price is paid. The debt is canceled. You are not working toward your salvation. You are working from your salvation. You are not trying to get my attention. You already have it. You are not trying to earn my blessing. You are already blessed with every spiritual blessing in Christ. The question is not whether I am giving. The question is whether you are receiving. And you cannot receive when your hands are clenched. Clenched, trying to control. Clenched, trying to perform. Clenched, trying to earn. Open your hands. Open your heart. Stop trying so hard. Rest. Let me be God. Let me be Father. Let me be provider. Let me be healer. Not because you forced me, but because I love you. There is a kind of faith that the world does not understand. It is the faith of a child. A child does not wake up wondering if their parents will feed them. A child does not stress about where the next meal will come from. A child trusts, not because they understand logistics, but because they know their parents love them. That is the faith I want from you. Not a complicated formula, not a perfect prayer, not a strategic plan, but a childlike trust that your Father loves you and will take care of you, not always the way you want, but always the way you need. Do you trust me that much? Do you trust me enough to stop begging? Do you trust me enough to stop striving? Do you trust me enough to stop worrying? Do you trust me enough to rest? I know you have been hurt. I know life has been hard. I know prayers have gone unanswered. I know doors have closed. I know you have been disappointed. I know you have been let down, even by people who spoke in my name, even by churches that were supposed to be safe, even by leaders who were supposed to guide you. I know. I saw every tear. I heard every cry. I felt every disappointment, and I'm not ignoring you. I am working, even when you cannot see it, even when you cannot feel it. I am working, not on your timeline, but on mine. And my timeline is perfect, even when it feels slow, even when it feels late. I am never late. I am never early. I am always on time. But your time is not my time, and your ways are not my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. You cannot fit me into your schedule. You cannot reduce me to your understanding. You cannot control me with your words. I am God, and I am good, even when you do not understand. Let me tell you about Joseph. He had a dream, a beautiful dream, a dream from me. And then everything went wrong. His brothers hated him, sold him into slavery. He ended up in a foreign country, falsely accused, thrown into prison, forgotten by those he helped, from the outside. It looked like I had abandoned him. It looked like the dream was dead. It looked like I had lied. But I had not lied. I was working, in the pit, in the prison, in the pain. I was shaping him, preparing him, teaching him, so that when the time came, he could stand before Pharaoh and save millions of lives. The dream did come true, but not the way he expected, not on his timeline, not through his plan, through my plan, which was better, which was greater, which was wiser. And at the end, Joseph looked back at all of it, the betrayal, the slavery, the false accusation, the prison, and he said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Do you see? The enemy meant it for evil, but I meant it for good. The pain was not pointless. The waiting was not wasted. The prison was not punishment, it was preparation. And that is what I'm doing in your life right now. Whatever you are facing, whatever closed door, whatever silence, whatever pain, I'm using it, I'm working it, I'm redeeming it, not because the pain is good, but because I'm good, and I can take what the enemy meant for evil, and turn it into good. But you have to trust me. You have to trust me in the waiting. You have to trust me in the silence. You have to trust me when you do not understand. That is the faith that pleases me. Not the faith that screams for a miracle, but the faith that whispers. I trust you. Even when I do not see, even when I do not feel, even when I do not understand, I trust you. That is the faith of Abraham, who left his home without knowing where he was going. That is the faith of Moses, who led millions into the desert without knowing the way. That is the faith of David, who faced a giant with only a sling and a stone. That is the faith of Mary, who said, "Let it be to me according to your word," even though it meant shame, even though it meant pain, even though it meant watching her son die. She trusted. That is the faith I'm calling you to, not a faith without fear, but a faith that trusts me more than it fears the storm. You have been looking for a shortcut, a secret, a key, a code, but there is no shortcut to intimacy. There is no secret to relationship. There is no key to love. Love is simple. Love is patient. Love is present. Love is faithful. And I have loved you with an everlasting love, not because you earned it, but because I chose it. I chose you. Before the foundation of the world, I chose you, not because you were strong, but because I'm strong in your weakness, not because you were wise, but because I'm your wisdom, not because you were righteous, but because I'm your righteousness. Everything you need, you find in me, not in a formula, not in a ministry, not in a method. In me. So stop running, stop striving, stop performing. Sit down, take a deep breath, and let me love you. Let me hold you. Let me speak to you, not in the thunder, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in the still small voice. Are you listening? Can you hear me? I love you. I have always loved you. I will always love you. Nothing can change that. Nothing you do, nothing you fail to do, nothing, not your worst mistake, not your deepest shame, not your darkest secret. I know it all, and I love you still. There is nothing you can do to make me love you more. There is nothing you can do to make me love you less. My love is not based on your performance. It is based on my character, and I am love. So, rest. Rest in my love. Rest in my grace. Rest in my presence. Stop trying to earn what has already been given. Stop trying to reach what has already been provided. Stop trying to become what you already are. My child, my beloved, my treasure. That is who you are, not because of what you do, but because of who I am. And I am your Father, always, forever, without condition, without limitation, without end. So come to me. Not with your list of requests, but with your empty hands. Come to me, not with your formula, but with your broken heart. Come to me, not with your performance, but with your weariness. And I will give you rest, real rest, deep rest, the rest your soul has been craving, the rest that all your striving could not produce, the rest that only I can give. Do not wait until you are perfect. You will never be perfect. Do not wait until you have it all together. You will never have it all together. Do not wait until you feel worthy. You will never feel worthy. Come as you are, right now, in this moment, with all your mess, all your doubts, all your fears, all your failures. Come and let me love you. Let me hold you. Let me heal you. That is all I have ever wanted. Not your sacrifice, not your service, not your success. You, I want you, just you, the real you, the tired you, the broken you, the struggling you, the doubting you. I want you. And I am not going anywhere. I'm not giving up on you. I am not walking away. I am right here, waiting, with open arms, with unconditional love, with endless grace. So stop running, stop hiding, stop performing, and just be with me. Be loved by me. Be held by me. That is the greatest miracle. Not a changed circumstance, but a changed soul. Not an open door, but an open heart. Not a breakthrough in your life, but a breakthrough in your relationship with me. That is what I'm offering you today, right now, in this moment. Will you take it? Will you stop striving and start resting? Will you stop performing and start receiving? Will you stop chasing miracles and start chasing me? The choice is yours. I will not force you. I will not manipulate you. I will not pressure you. I'm not like that. My love is patient. My love is kind. My love is not demanding. My love waits, and I am waiting for you, not because I am far away, but because you need to realize that I am already here. I've always been here, and I will never leave. So take a breath, Let the tension leave your shoulders. Let the worry leave your mind. Let the fear leave your heart. You are loved. You are safe. You are mine. And nothing, nothing in all of creation, nothing in heaven or on earth, nothing in the past or the future, nothing alive or dead, nothing can separate you from my love. Not your mistakes, not your failures, not your doubts, not your fears, not the enemy, not the world, not even yourself. You are mine forever, and that is not going to change. So rest in that. Rest in my love. Rest in my grace. Rest in my presence. And let me do what only I can do. Change you from the inside out. Not through pressure, but through love, not through fear, but through grace, not through formulas, but through relationship. That is my promise to you. That is my gift to you. That is my heart for you. Now, will you receive it? Will you let go of the struggle? Will you let go of the striving? Will you let go of the need to control and just fall into my arms? I am here. I have always been here, and I am never leaving. You are my child, and I am your father, and that is enough. That is more than enough. That is everything. So rest, my child. Rest. You have been trying so hard, harder than anyone knows, harder than you even admit to yourself. You wake up already tired, already carrying the weight of a battle no one sees. You smile when you need to smile. You speak when you need to speak. You function. You survive. But deep inside, in the place no camera sees, no friend hears, no pastor notices, you are exhausted, not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, the kind of tired that comes from fighting invisible enemies, the kind of tired that comes from praying the same prayers and hearing nothing, the kind of tired that comes from believing, hoping, trusting, and still waiting. I see it. I see you, not the version you show the world, but the version you hide, the version that cries in the car, the version that stares at the ceiling at 3 a.m, the version that wonders if anyone is really listening, if anyone really cares, if I really care. I care. I have not looked away. I have not turned my back. I have not been distracted by someone more important. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not a mistake I am trying to fix. You are my child, and I have been with you in every single moment of this exhaustion. Do you remember when you first believed? Do you remember the fire, the passion, the certainty? You thought it would always feel that way. You thought the mountaintop would become your home. But the mountaintop was never the destination. The valley was never the punishment. The wilderness was never the detour. It was all part of the same path, the same journey, the same story I'm writing with your life. But you've been fighting the wilderness, fighting the waiting, fighting the silence, as if something has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. The silence is not my absence. The waiting is not my rejection. The wilderness is not my punishment. It is my classroom, my sanctuary, my secret place, where I strip away everything you thought you needed, so you can discover that I am all you have ever needed. I know you do not understand. I know it feels like I am far away, but I am closer right now than I was on your best day, closer in the silence than I was in the shouting, closer in the darkness than I was in the spotlight, because it is in the dark, in the quiet, in the waiting, that you learn to recognize my voice, not the voice of your emotions, not the voice of your circumstances, not the voice of the enemy who screams lies in your ear, but my voice, the still small voice, the one that whispers when the storm rages, the one that speaks when every other voice goes silent. Are you learning to hear it, or are you still waiting for the thunder? My child, let me tell you something about the wilderness. The Israelites were in the wilderness for 40 years, not because I was angry, but because they were not ready. The promised land was not the gift. The wilderness was the gift. Because in the wilderness, they learned to depend on me. In the wilderness, they saw manna fall from heaven. In the wilderness, they saw water come from a rock. In the wilderness, they saw a pillar of fire guide them every single night. They thought the wilderness was a punishment, but it was the greatest demonstration of my love. I fed them every day. I guided them every night. I never left them. Their clothes did not wear out. Their feet did not swell. I was closer to them in the wilderness than they ever realized, and I am closer to you, right now, in whatever wilderness you are walking through. You think you're alone, but I am carrying you. You think you're forgotten, but I'm counting every tear. You think the silence means no, but the silence might mean wait, trust, grow. The silence is not empty. The silence is full, full of what I am building, full of what I am preparing, full of what I am doing that you cannot see yet. You are like a seed buried in the soil. The soil is dark. The soil is cold. The soil is lonely. And the seed wonders if it has been abandoned, but the darkness is not the end. The darkness is the beginning, because in the darkness, the seed breaks open. In the darkness, the roots grow deep. In the darkness, the life inside is formed. And then, when the time is right, when the roots are strong enough, when the life is ready, the seed breaks through the soil and becomes something beautiful, something the world can see, something that bears fruit. But without the darkness, there is no breakthrough. Without the waiting, there is no strength. Without the hidden season, there is no visible harvest. You are in the dark soil right now, and you are begging for the light. But if I brought the light too soon, you would not be ready. The roots are not deep enough. The life inside is not formed enough. The storm would come, and you would fall. Because you are not planted deep enough, so I keep you in the dark. Not because I hate you, but because I love you too much to let you be uprooted. I'm protecting you from a breakthrough you are not ready for. I'm shielding you from a harvest that would destroy you. I'm waiting, not because I'm slow, but because I'm thorough. And I will not release you until you are ready, until you are rooted, until you are strong enough to hold what I'm about to give you. You have been praying for the harvest, but you have not been asking for the roots. You have been begging for the fruit, but you have not been asking for the strength to hold it. I'm not ignoring you. I'm preparing you. And preparation takes time. Preparation takes pressure. Preparation takes tears. Preparation takes nights where you cannot sleep, days where you cannot eat, moments where you wonder if you can take one more step. But I am with you in every single one of those moments, and I am not wasting any of them. The enemy wants you to believe that the waiting is wasted, that the silence means I have abandoned you, that the struggle means I'm punishing you. But that is a lie, a carefully crafted lie designed to make you give up. Right before the breakthrough, right before the roots are deep enough, right before the seed is ready to break through. The enemy always attacks at the edge of the miracle. He always screams loudest when you are closest to your freedom. Do not give up now. Do not let the silence convince you that I am silent. I am speaking. I am working. I am moving. Even when you cannot feel it, even when you cannot see it, even when everything in you wants to walk away. Hold on. Stay. Trust. The roots are growing. The darkness is almost over. The light is coming. But not just any light. The light of a new season. A season you cannot even imagine yet. A season that will make the waiting worth it. A season that will make you say, it was worth it. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, every prayer that seemed unanswered. It was all worth it. Because I was not just giving you something. I was making you someone. Someone who can carry what I am about to give. Someone who can steward what I am about to release. Someone who can handle the blessing without being destroyed by it. Do you understand? The blessing is not the goal. You are the goal. Your character, your faith, your trust, your surrender. That is what I am after, because I can trust a person of character with anything, but a person without character, a person who has not been through the wilderness, a person who has not learned to trust in the dark, that person cannot handle the light. The light would burn them. The blessing would break them. The promotion would destroy them. I am protecting you. Even when it feels like I am punishing you, I am preparing you. Even when it feels like I am ignoring you, I am loving you. Even when it feels like I have abandoned you, I have not left. I have not looked away. I have not changed my mind about you. You are still the one I chose, still the one I called, still the one I am coming back for, and I am coming, not on your timeline, but on mine. And my timeline is perfect, even when it makes no sense to you. Let me tell you about a man named Job. He lost everything: his children, his health, his wealth, his reputation. His friends turned against him. His wife told him to curse me and die. And he sat in ashes, scraping his wounds with broken pottery, wondering why, wondering what he did wrong, wondering if I had abandoned him, and I had not abandoned him. I was doing something deeper than he could see. I was proving something to the enemy. I was showing that Job loved me for me, not for what I gave him, not for the blessings, not for the protection, not for the health, but for who I am. And Job passed the test. He did not understand. He asked questions. He complained. He wrestled. But he did not curse me. He did not walk away. He held on. And in the end, I restored everything, twice as much. Not because Job earned it, but because I am good, and because the story was not over. The enemy thought the story ended in ashes, but I wrote a different ending, an ending of restoration, an ending of abundance, an ending of joy, and I'm writing your ending right now. You are in the middle of the story, not the end. The middle always feels hopeless. The middle always feels dark. The middle always feels like the story is over. But the middle is not the end. The middle is where the character grows. The middle is where faith is forged. The middle is where you become the person who can walk into the ending I have prepared. Do not judge the book by the middle chapter. Wait for the end. Wait for me to finish what I started. I always finish what I start. I've never left a story incomplete. I've never abandoned a child in the wilderness. I've never forgotten a promise I made. I'm faithful, even when you are faithless. I am true, even when every circumstance screams otherwise. I am good, even when your heart is breaking. I am working, even when you cannot see it. So do not give up. Do not give in. Do not let the enemy steal what I am building. He wants your surrender, but not to me. He wants you to surrender to despair, to bitterness, to unbelief, to the lie that I've forgotten you. Do not let him win. Fight, not with your fists, not with your anger, but with your trust, with your worship, with your refusal to let go of me, even when you do not understand, even when it hurts, even when the silence is deafening. Hold on. I am holding on to you, and I am stronger than everything coming against you. You are not alone in this battle. You have never been alone. I have been fighting for you before you knew there was a war. I have been protecting you from things you will never know about. I have been redirecting arrows that were aimed at your heart. You think your life is hard? You have no idea how much harder it would be without me. You have no idea how many disasters I have diverted, how many accidents I have prevented, how many attacks I have absorbed. You are alive because I am watching over you. You are breathing because I am sustaining you. You are still standing because I am holding you up. Do not give the enemy credit for what I am doing. Do not look at your struggles and assume I am absent. Look closer. See my hand, see my protection, see my provision, even in the pain, even in the lack, even in the waiting. I am there, I am providing, not always what you want, but always what you need. I'm protecting, not always from the storm, but always in the storm. I am guiding, not always where you want to go, but always where you need to be. Trust me, even when the path does not make sense, even when the road is rocky, even when the destination is hidden, trust that I know the way. Because I am the way. Let me tell you about Abraham. I told him to leave his country, his family, his father's household, and go to a land I would show him. I did not give him a map. I did not give him a detailed plan. I did not give him a timeline. I said, go. And he went. Not knowing where he was going, not knowing how long it would take, not knowing what would happen when he got there. He just trusted. And that trust was credited to him as righteousness. He did not need to see the whole path. He just needed to see me, and that was enough. Is it enough for you? Is my presence enough? Or do you need to see the whole plan? Do you need to understand everything? Do you need to know the ending before you take the next step? Faith is not faith if you can see everything. Faith is trusting in the dark. Faith is stepping onto the water. Faith is walking toward the promise even when the circumstances scream impossible. That is what I'm asking from you. Not blind faith, not ignorant faith, but faith that knows me. Faith that has seen my faithfulness in the past. Faith that remembers every time I came through. Even when it was late, even when it was different than you expected, even when you did not understand until later. You have seen me work. Do not let the current silence erase the history of my faithfulness. I have never failed you. I am not going to start now. The enemy wants you to believe that this time is different, that this situation is too hard, that this mountain is too high, that this problem has no solution. But I specialize in impossible. I parted the Red Sea. I raised the dead. I healed the blind. I made a way where there was no way, and I am making a way for you right now. Not the way you expected, not the way you planned, but a way, a path through the wilderness, a door in the wall, a light in the darkness. Keep walking, keep trusting, keep praying, even when it feels like nothing is happening, because everything is happening. Everything is moving, everything is shifting, behind the scenes, in places you cannot see, in ways you cannot understand. I am working. I am moving. I am answering. Not always with yes, but always with what is best. And what is best is not always what you want. What is best is not always what feels good. What is best is not always what makes you happy. What is best is what makes you holy. What is best is what makes you more like me. What is best is what prepares you for eternity, not just for the next 5 years, not just for this life, but for forever. I'm playing the long game. I am building something eternal. And you cannot build something eternal with temporary comfort. You cannot build something eternal with easy roads. You cannot build something eternal with constant sunshine. The greatest things are built in the storm. The strongest trees grow in the wind. The deepest faith is forged in the fire. Do not run from the fire. Do not run from the storm. Do not run from the wind. Let them do their work. Let them shape you. Let them strengthen you. Let them prepare you. Because what I am building in you is worth the pain. What I am creating in you is worth the tears. What I am forming in you is worth the waiting. You are becoming something beautiful. Even when you feel like nothing but broken pieces, even when you feel like a mess, even when you feel like a failure, I'm taking all of it, all the brokenness, all the mistakes, all the regrets, and I am making something beautiful, something only I could make, something that will bring me glory, something that will be a testimony to my grace. Do you believe that? Do you believe I can take your mess and make it a message? Do you believe I can take your test and make it a testimony? Do you believe I can take your pain and make it purpose? I can. I will. I am. Right now, in this moment, I am working. Do not give up before the miracle. Do not walk away before the breakthrough. Do not stop praying before the answer comes. The answer is closer than you think. The breakthrough is nearer than you feel. The miracle is just around the corner. But you have to hold on. You have to keep believing. You have to keep trusting. Even when you are tired, even when you want to quit, even when every voice tells you to give up. Listen to my voice, the voice that says, I am with you. I am for you. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I am working all things for your good, not some things, not the easy things, not the things that make sense. All things, the hard things, the painful things, the confusing things, all of them. I am working them together for your good, because you love me. Because you are called according to my purpose. That is my promise. And I do not break promises. I do not lie. I do not change my mind. What I have said, I will do. What I have promised, I will fulfill. Not because you deserve it, but because I am faithful. So rest in my faithfulness. Rest in my promises. Rest in my love. Stop striving. Stop performing. Stop trying to earn what I already gave. You are my child. That is not going to change. Your failures do not surprise me. Your doubts do not scare me. Your weakness does not disappoint me. I knew all of it before I chose you, and I chose you anyway, not because you were strong, but because I am strong in your weakness, not because you were wise, but because I am your wisdom, not because you were faithful, but because I am faithful. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to be present, to stay, to trust, to let me be God, and you be my child. That is all. That is everything. Stop trying to fix yourself. Stop trying to earn my love. Stop trying to measure up to a standard that does not exist. The only standard was perfection. And my son met it for you. When he said it is finished, he meant it. The work is done. The price is paid. The debt is canceled. You are free. Free from performance. Free from shame. Free from the need to prove yourself. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to earn. You have nothing to achieve. You have everything to receive. Receive my love. Receive my grace. Receive my peace. Stop trying to manufacture what only I can give. Stop trying to force what only I can create. Stop trying to control what only I can handle. Let go. Let go of the wheel. Let go of the plan. Let go of the timeline. Let go of the need to understand. And trust. Trust that I know what I am doing. Trust that I love you more than you love yourself. Trust that I see what you cannot see. And I am working for your good, even when it does not feel good, even when it does not look good, even when it makes no sense. Trust, that is the word for this season. Trust, not understanding, not control, not certainty. Trust. Will you trust me? Will you trust me with your finances, even when they are failing? Will you trust me with your health? Even when it is failing. Will you trust me with your family, even when they are breaking? Will you trust me with your future, even when it is uncertain? Will you trust me? That is the question. That is always the question. Will you trust me? Not after you see the breakthrough, not after you feel better, not after the money comes, not after the relationship heals, but now. in the middle, in the mess, in the mystery. Will you trust me? That is faith. That is the faith that moves mountains, not the faith that sees the mountain move, but the faith that trusts me while the mountain is still standing. That is the faith I am looking for. That is the faith that pleases me, not the faith that gets results, but the faith that trusts my heart, even when it cannot see my hand. Do you have that faith? Do you want it? Ask me for it. I will give it to you, not all at once, but little by little, day by day, moment by moment. I will grow your faith. I will deepen your trust. I will expand your capacity to believe. Not through easy circumstances, but through hard ones. Not through answered prayers, but through waiting. Not through visible miracles, but through invisible faithfulness, because that is how faith grows, in the soil of struggle, in the rain of tears, in the darkness of not knowing. That is where faith becomes real. That is where faith becomes strong. That is where faith becomes unshakable. And that is what I am building in you, unshakable faith. Faith that does not depend on what you see, faith that does not depend on what you feel, faith that does not depend on what you understand, faith that depends on who I am. And who I am is faithful, who I am is good, who I am is love. And love never fails. I will never fail you. I have never failed you, and I'm not going to start now. So take a breath, let the tension go, let the worry go, let the fear go. You are in good hands. You are in my hands, and my hands have never dropped anyone. My hands have never let anyone fall. My hands have never failed. I hold the universe in these hands, and I hold you, not as a distant creator, but as a loving father. A father who sees you, a father who knows you, a father who loves you, not for what you do, but for who you are. My child, forever, rest in that, rest in me. The storm is still raging, but you are safe. The winds are still blowing, but you are secure. The waves are still crashing, but you will not sink, because I am in the boat with you, and the boat will not sink. I promised you, I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. I am with you always, to the end of the age. That is not a suggestion, that is a promise, that is a fact, that is your reality, even when you do not feel it, even when you do not believe it, even when you cannot see it. I am with you, I am for you, I am in you, and nothing in all of creation, nothing in heaven or on earth, nothing in the past or the future, nothing alive or dead, nothing can separate you from my love. Not your failures, not your fears, not your doubts, not your weaknesses, not your sins, not your shame, nothing. You are mine forever, and that is not going to change. So rest in my love, rest in my grace, rest in my presence. Stop fighting battles I already won. Stop carrying burdens I already carried. Stop worrying about things I already solved. Rest, just rest, and let me be God. Let me be Father. Let me be provider. Let me be healer. Let me be everything you need, because I am everything, and I am yours, and you are mine, forever. Rest, my child, rest.